Now, we love to go fast here on the Dorky and 40 RC channel, but every once in a while, we like to take things easy. We even like to take things to a crawl. I'm Chad. This is the Dorky and 40 RC channel. Let's talk about the Traxxas TRX4M. Well, some of you might not be totally into RC. You might be only into the drag cars, whatever. That is cool. But if you have not been living under a rock for the past couple months and you are into RC, then you have heard about the evolution, drop, whatever you want to call it, of this micro crawler. So this is an 1/18 scale Traxxas TRX4M. This is the Ford Bronco edition here. This is a scaled down crawler, of course, of their legendary TRX4, which I have, and I've put a couple videos on the channel. Absolutely love that thing. It's modded to the max. It's got digital FPV system, so I can sit in the garage and drive it all around in the snow. Probably a cool thing I could be doing tonight if it wasn't blowing out so hard. But anyway, I've been following these type of micro crawlers for a while now, ever since Axial dropped the SCX24. And boy, those things have gotten like super crazy and out of control. I don't even know if you really even need to buy one anymore, because there's just been so many upgrades and hop ups and everything for them. And I'm sure we're going to see that for this. And we already got some of that stuff for this already as well. But we're going to be starting off basic here. We're going to try to address some of the normal problems. I've already ran it outside today for a while. You've seen some running video, and you'll see a little bit more. We'll talk about what an average RC guy like me feels about the performance and how fun it is to drive. Some good, some bad. Let's get into it right now. So the first cool thing to talk about with this car is just this awesome body that is on here. Now, this is the Bronco edition. They have a Defender edition as well. You can get it in multiple different colors, but this body is just cool. They have integrated the coolest quick released body system ever in here. There's a hook here and a hook here right behind the bumpers that just fit your fingers perfectly, that you literally just pull out and the body just pops right off. Super easy and simple. Just does not get any better than that. You know, the body is got molded plastic, of course. It's got a lot of little scale details and everything on it. I really like it. I would have liked a different color than blue. You can pick up extra bodies and all that kind of stuff. You know, we'll get into that down the road. So here is the TRX4M in all of its glory. Now, the only thing that I have actually done to this already is I have put on some of the steel 7mm hexes to replace the plastic hexes that come on here, just to give it a little bit of a wider base and to try to clear up the front binding issue. That's one of the big things that this thing is doing. This has such an incredible steering radius that basically what happens is when you're steering, your steering arm here can actually rub against the tire, and you can get yourself into a little bit of a binding situation. So speaking of that, it's just an awesome design right there. You know, most of our actual crawler type of deals have extra linkages that kind of come down for steering and everything. They pretty much got away with that. They just did away with it on this vehicle altogether. So if you look real closely, you basically just have a center steering horn that comes down, and then it'll just move everything right there. The servo itself is mounted to a cheaper servo mount, kind of chassis mounted, kind of not. It does kind of wiggle around a lot, as you can see, and you can obviously buy a beefier servo, and you can also get a metal servo upgrade to kind of hold that in place there and prevent a little bit of that slop action that we do not want in our crawlers. Now, Traxxas did not let us down. They have a ton of upgrade parts available for this thing. Now, ready to run with an actual full-sized remote control, the TQ remote controller, battery, and everything. $150, a bargain. And a lot of you guys, gals, will buy this thing for you, yourself, your kids, and that is all the money that you will ever need to spend on this. But if you feel like tacking on a couple zeros to the end of the number, I am pretty sure that Traxxas and everybody else will have you covered. They have trailers, they've got extra bodies, different kind of tires, weights, transmission gears, so on and so forth, and everything else is going to come out down the road. That is for sure. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is, I've been running it a little bit as well. Like I said, I've got some stuff ready to go for the upgrade path, and I wanted to get a good feel for it and kind of give you guys my first impressions and show you what is going on before I added some of the upgrades to the kit myself. Now, the very first thing that I want to upgrade in this is going to be the low speed gears. So on the back of the EXCSC here, this ESC actually has 3 different modes. It has a high speed, a medium speed, and a low speed mode. And those basically affect, how much of a trail ride it is versus how much of a slow crawler it is. Beyond that, Traxxas also sells different gear sets that you can put into the transmission here to change that and give you way more throttle resolution and modulation, so that way you can get full control, drag brake, everything. You could even hook this thing up to their TQI remote and the app and dial things in even more yourself. So there's going to be a lot of cool like tires and foams and just all kinds of stuff. If we take a look at how the SCX24 has just blown the RC world apart the past couple of years, kind of like RC no prep drag, I think you're pretty much either into one or the other or both. Be broke if you're pretty much into both. So we know where this might be going, but this thing here, it's great. We'll talk. Let's play some running footage here, and we'll talk through some of the things, the pros and cons, and then I'll tell you what we're going to do to it next. So here we got this baby just kind of cruising around in the grass here. You can see the lights. They do sell a real light kit that's coming out for it. It's on pre-order right now. Kind of rough getting around in some tall grass, not going to lie. The small scale is a little disadvantage. So here we are just kind of playing around in the patio area, driveway, landscaping, and that kind of stuff. And you could see right away that just having like these tires that just are kind of like big balloons with no foam, no weight in the tires at all, even though the weight in the center of gravity of this thing is really great. It's just having problems digging. The tires themselves are not super sticky or anything like that. We know that makes a very, very big difference when it comes to crawlers, and we need to get all the performance out of these things as we can. Now, hitting approach angles here, the Bronco does have a better approach angles than the Defender. So again, you can see the front end just kind of like falling back, just not wanting to bite down hard and get a grip on this stuff. So we've got the brass weights and beadlock wheels that we're going to throw on there, along with the low speed gearing first, to try to get us a little bit of help to get up and down some of these obstacles. But you can see that, she does definitely struggle. Not, out of the box, it's not going to be perfect. It will be fun, especially on like an indoor type of a course or something. But if you want to go into nature, you're going to have to work on the car, I think, a little bit and throw a little money at it. Now, back here on the rocks, it actually did pretty good. You can see I've got flagstone back here piled up around our pond area in the back, little, type of garden pond. And it didn't do too bad. It was super cold and windy outside today. And, getting back into the swing of things, of trying to film at the same time I was crawling. You can see the leaves blowing at me and everything. But once I found the right angle, we did pretty decent on these kind of rocks. Even here in the snow, was able to just kind of dig in a little bit there and get going. Having some kind of, they don't have it yet, but having some kind of side skirt, rock slider type of deal in the future will definitely be a big help. I know they have a metal skid plate for the bottom that they have coming, but no kind of rock sliders or anything like that. But yeah, she did good back here. So we got a few things here on the bench here that we're actually going to be doing next, I was telling you about. So the first thing is we're going to be taking the tires off because the tires are not glued, and we're going to be throwing them on these beadlock rims here, and we're going to replace these rings with the brass rings here. So that is going to get us hopefully some more grip. Now, the one thing that I've done already is I've actually bound up to a TQI remote. Does not have Bluetooth, but I was able to actually go through the menu and make some changes to endpoints and some other things on the steering. So that was a very, very big help. And the last thing is going to be, well, you can't get the low speed gears anywhere right now. And my hobby shop had this complete transmission and motor kit. So it's not a motor upgrade. It's the exact same motor, but it's a drop-in replacement. And this is the low speed gearing right here. So this is what is going to give us that super low crawling speed and that extra resolution that we are going to need to help get up some of those obstacles. So that is the plan, guys, for the TRX4M. I'm pumped about it. Hopefully you guys are too. A little bit something fun to play with over the winter time. So that's going to do it. We will talk to you guys on the next video. Peace.